Bwahahahaha. My name is Amy too, and welcome back to Tech Synth. I'm just gonna go right into this now. Moon found a tunnel under his car in which the car was submerged and his car submerged by his wife's car. The court heard there had been previous allegations at the scene which Mr. Brown had not reported to police. The woman gave evidence that she found her car at the bottom of the tunnel, but her husband was still underneath. Judge Richard Moxon QC said the tunnel was a serious risk to the public. He said that a tunnel would be more dangerous than a car being submerged and that there was no evidence to suggest Mr. Brown was in possession of drugs or was involved in a criminal enterprise. He told him to be relaxed when he returns to court. Mr. Brown was fined €750 and ordered to pay costs of €500 to his wife's car insurer and to pay damages to the driver of the vehicle which he submerged. What? The jury was not impressed with this. The following day, Brown's wife was also fined for failing to report him. That's a mixture there. The trial ... Moon found a tunnel under his car using his phone camera for the location. Can you really find the location that way? After some time, he found a large amount of water in the tunnel. Yeah, it's underneath your car. That implies that it's not in like an enclosure. The water was very dirty. No, wrong place. He had used a flashlight as well. He had found a huge amount of water underground. The water was very dirty, as he had used his flashlight to clean the water. How do you clean the water with a flashlight? He found the same amount of dirt in the water. Yeah, because you didn't clean it. After that, his phone was found in the muck of the road near him, with the picture he had taken of the tunnel. This proves that he was in the tunnel. You sure? Because it sounded like he didn't go in it. And that there was water underground. The evidence that points to him being in the tunnel has been very strong. Are you meaning to tell me that he squeezed under his car to get in there? The tunnel was not a large one. It was probably about half a meter wide. Uh-huh. Yeah. I wouldn't go in the tunnel that small. The evidence from the mud and dirt of the tunnel proves that he had been in the tunnel. And it is also important for those who want to find Bigfoot. How? Is this his drinking hole? It is an easy place to hide and hide and hide for someone. There's a potential for a Bigfoot sighting near a river. There have been sightings in the vicinity of the river, especially near the bridge. The bridge is a large structure, and the area was well populated at the time, and the area was a good place to hide a body in the case the body was discovered. What does that say? What does that mean? And that is not the only thing that points to him being near the river. The picture that he had taken of the tunnel, after he had taken the camera image, one of the workers from his employer asked him to check in again for the tunnel. They asked him to check back in an hour with a more detailed photo. This was to verify they did not see him with the light on and in a tunnel. He had the time and he had the equipment, so he went back and took the photo, and he was in the tunnel with the lighting on. And he had been in the tunnel about half an hour, So there is another thing that is important for those who want to find Bigfoot. Oh, and what's that? And the thing is, he left and he was gone. I thought I was reading another part there, but it's just that disjointed. It was gone and he was gone and he was gone. But he had stayed in the tunnel for about 10 minutes. So we need to think in our minds, where is it? The answer to that question is in the riverbed. And it is near a bridge near the railroad tracks. So I assume there's a rail bridge there? Whatever. And in that riverbed, there is a body that was dumped. It was dumped in a spot that was near the rail yard. And in the riverbed, there is a small island that is in the riverbed. And it is about an acre in size. That's not small. And we are told it is a body. That's a pretty large body. Like, what kind of body is this? Is that Bigfoot? We don't know how much of that body was actually dumped in the river. I'd say all of it if it's an island. So in order to be able to find this body, it was necessary to have a body that was dumped in a spot that was near the railroad tracks. And to be able to dump a body in a small island in the riverbed, it needed to be a body that was dumped in that spot. And that is where the body was dumped. So that is the way we know about it. You know about it because you were the one that dumped it there, or you dumped a body to sort of figure out where it was put. That makes no sense whatsoever. Now we can take away from that body. That's we don't know how much of it was actually dumped in the river. And we don't have any evidence of where the body was dumped. What do you mean? I thought you found it. I thought that's what the island is. We don't know where the body was dumped, but the reason that... So dumb. Moon found a tunnel under his car, and he got out and walked along a tunnel which led to a dark area. Very descriptive. He got out again, but found the tunnel was blocked by a metal box. The box was metal and very hard to open. The tunnel took him to a dark room with a metal box on a table. He saw a black figure in the corner of the black room. The figure was wearing a cloak and mask. The figure walked towards him. The figure stopped on a table. The figure looked at him, and his eyes moved in response. He tried to walk towards the dark room, but couldn't. The figure raised his mask and walked toward him. The metal box he tried to open with his hands was locked, and he couldn't open it. It's so over descriptive, or rather, like, it is so, like, you know, jerky in its descriptions. The figure walked toward him. He got down on his knees and knelt before the black figure. Oh, so you're worshiping it now. He put his hands down as the figure moved closer to him. The figure moved over him. He felt the figure's hands and felt the cold metal on his arms. He felt the cold metal touching him. The steel touched his neck. He felt the cold steel touch his chest. Where is it? Is it all over you? Or does it keep moving? He felt the cold metal touching his chest. He cold steel touching his shoulder and his throat. He felt the cold steel touch his neck and his chest. He felt the cold steel touch his neck and his chest. And then the cold steel started to move down his chest and his legs. It went down. down into his hands and legs, and then down into his feet, then down into his toes, and then down into his toes, and then back up to his head. What is this? The figure walked over him, it stood on his stomach, and began to press its hands around his stomach. That's weird. The cold metal touched him in his stomach. His throat was getting sore. He tried to move away from his stomach. What? But couldn't. Yeah, that you can't move away from your own body. Just saying. He tried to move away his throat, but couldn't. He tried to move down his chest, but couldn't. His chest started to hurt. He tried to move away from his chest, but couldn't. He tried to move away his throat, but couldn't. He tried to move his legs, but couldn't. He tried to move away his shoulders, but couldn't. He tried to move his legs, but couldn't. Yeah, we've been over that already. It stopped pushing around his stomach and his throat and started to press down his chest. The cold metal in his chest felt cold. He tried to push the cold metal out of his arms and his shoulders, but it wouldn't go away. He tried to move his elbows and his wrists, but it wouldn't go away. He tried to move his fingers, but it didn't go away. He tried to move his hand, but it didn't go away. He tried to pull his hand away from the cold steel, but it wouldn't go away. He tried to pull his hand away from the cold steel, but it wouldn't go away. He tried to pull the thought. That was starting to get overly repetitive. Moan found a tunnel under his car that led to the underground city. However, the tunnel was blocked by the car itself, as it had been sealed with a massive gate. They tried to use the gate to make it open, but were unable to due to the massive weight of their vehicle. Yeah, drive it away from there then. They decided to find a way out of the city, as it was their only hope. When a tunnel leading to the subterranean city was found, they set it up for the tunnelers to pass through. Are they actually in the tunnel, or what? How did their car get on top of it then? And set up the tunnel's exit to lead to another city. They continued searching for something to get out of the city to the surface, but were unable to. They decided that they could go around the city instead because of a bridge which they set up to the opposite side, but was also blocked by the gate. They then found a massive staircase in the middle of the city and decided to jump it. And they landed on another world, which was a world similar to Earth. I think you're tripping. In the new world, they started searching for what to get out of Earth, but were unable to. They then saw a city, which was a city similar to the city of Earth. Which one? Where they could get out if they could find something that would allow them to leave this city. Yeah, that's generally how it goes. If you find out a way to leave, you can leave. The city was a place that was similar to Earth, but not in any way. It was a land where a few things had not been destroyed, but many things had been taken from them. There were many machines, but not many people. Their civilization had advanced quite a bit since they were in the Earth. And now, they were a lot stronger and more advanced than the Earth. I find that hard to believe, if there are few people. The city was also the place where they could find their way out of Earth. Where am I at? Okay. But they discovered that the city of Earth is the one they were supposed to get to, and was the one that was meant to become Earth, but was now destroyed. In their new civilization, there were machines and people, but nothing much. They found a few things that seemed to be from the Earth, such as a device that could allow them to get to Earth if they find something that was meant for them to get to Earth. Nonsense. But the device proved to be just as useless, and it also gave them a bad feeling. Oh, it's cursed? The device proved to be a device that was for the Earth to get to when they were going to leave Earth. This device is a device that can take something and make something else. It is a device that can give the Earth a feeling that the Earth was meant to be and make them leave Earth. What? The device proved to be useless when they found it, so they decided that they should leave Earth and go to the other planet. They found an area to the east, which was the planet. This area was a strange desert. How is this desert strange? In what way? There were not many life things, but many machines and buildings. The city of this planet is the one they were supposed to get to, but instead the planet took all of Earth and its people to itself. So they had to go to the planet to get out of this place. Complicated sentence. In the planet, they found a way to go to Earth, but they decided that they should leave Earth. How can you leave a place that you haven't gone to? Because there are no life things for them to find. So the people on Earth were not taken by the planet, so they decided to leave this planet and go to other places and find life things. But on their way, they discovered a strange planet that has life things, and the people there were not taken by the planet. So they decided to leave this planet and go to another planet where they found life things. But on their way, they saw the city of Earth with machines and buildings and people. So on the way, they saw the city of Earth and saw there were people living inside. They started seeing people being taken outside the buildings and inside the machines. They found that if you go to the machines, you could get people out of the machines. But if you go to the buildings, you could not get the people out of the buildings. This is such a weird, what is this? So they found that they can get people out of the machines but not out of the buildings. It had machines for you to go in and out of the buildings. They found that they could get the people out of the machines but not out of the buildings. They found... Okay, whatever. I'm gonna end this video here. Hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna make other videos like this. I'm still a little sick, so yeah. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.